Hey, my name is Jared Lantry, and this is This Week on the National Football League. And this week on the National Football League, a lot of really cool things went down.
Colin had his chance to be here.
The biggest headline this week were the kicking woes of the Browns and Vikings.
It's been awesome so far for me. God's got a mysterious plan.
As a potential Super Bowl contender, the Vikings went out and signed the second most accurate kicker in history. Meanwhile, the Browns, being one kicker away from a 2-0 start, signed a kicker who has never kicked in a regular season game and had a 69 field goal percentage through college. Marquette King joins the ranks of Pusha T, Drake, Eminem, and Machine Gun Kelly as he released a diss video directed at Jon Gruden this week. I wanted to join in on the fun too, so here's my own cryptic diss video directed at Travis from 8th grade who said, "What are you doing here?" when I joined a conversation.
You, Travis!
At halftime, Bills defensive back Vontae Davis literally quit and retired right then and there, which is the equivalent of if Reports say that Antonio Brown didn't show up to practice on Monday. For more on this, we go to Detective Randy in the streets.
Excuse me. Have you seen Antonio Brown? Have you seen Antonio Brown? Have you seen Antonio Brown? What about you, sir?
It's time for
Twitter questions.
Here's a question from @CIK Productions. Where is Payton Lynch? Well, I don't know the exact answer, but here are the top 10 most likely places Payton Lynch is right now. Kazakhstan, Chili's, just outside of Denver because the real estate is super nice. The barber, somewhere with no phone service, drunk in a ditch, watching Netflix on his new Roku Express for only $29.88 on Amazon, coming back from your mama's house.
Boom, roasted.
His nuclear war shelter, Aberdeen, Washington. Here's a question from @DrewKnife. How many times do they play? Drew, the answer to that question is simple. You just gotta do a little math. There's 32 teams, 16 games, plus 11 playoff games, times that all by 4 quarters, then another 100 because 100 yards on the field usually, and that comes out to 213,600. The next question is from @DJ_Dally_D. Why does Shaquille Griffin sometimes have only one hand and play linebacker, but sometimes has 2 hands and plays cornerback? I'm not a science guy, so I can't really get into the physics of it and all the inertia and the fact that mass doesn't disappear or add to anything. I do know the Seahawks really benefit from this because having one person play 2 positions allows them to have an extra player on the field, so they have 11 players on the field but 12 total positions being played. Here's another good question from @CIK Productions. Why is short guy in Denver who runs ball better than the big guy who runs ball? It's easy. He's hard to see. Short running backs are always feisty, and they can drag defenders in any environment. Grass, turf, elevators. Here's a question from @TreyFlipMonkey. Why Browns no kick and goal? Hire Messi? Well, they hired somebody else instead. But to answer your question, I went out to a football field to explain exactly what's going wrong with kickers right now in the National Football League. When kicking a football, you need to remember the 3 balls. 1. Hold the ball. 2. Keep your eye on the ball. 3. Kick the ball. I'll now demonstrate how to kick a ball. Now let's see what happens if I forget to keep my eye on the ball.
Watch out, oh watch out, oh watch out.
Get it! And that's what's happening to kickers in the NFL today. The game of the week this week was Blake Bortles shredding the Pats defense. This all came after Jalen Ramsey said he wasn't scared of no man, including Rob Gronkowski.
I don't fear no man.
Clearly, he's never met Paul McQuiston. The greatness of Ryan Fitzmagic continued after robbing Conor McGregor's wardrobe. The Giants' offensive woes continued as Eli Manning spends more time filming watch commercials than standing up during a game. You'd think someone who spent so much time around clocks would be more aware of how long half a second is. I mean, clearly Eric Flowers gets it. The Cardinals have scored 6 points so far this season, and they likely will never score again until they re-sign Mark McGwire. Derek Carr broke the record for the best completion percentage, and they still lost due to a lack of pass rush.
If you loved me, why'd you leave me?
Thanks for tuning in on This Week in the National Football League. Do you have any questions about the National Football League? Like, will Carson Wentz be able to rejuvenate the struggling Eagles? How long will the Dolphins stay 2-0? Where did AJ Green go in the second half? Tweet at me.